Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. It appears more stories are coming out about Meghan being snubbed by A-listers. The Telegraph today is reporting that Taylor Swift snubbed an invitation to appear on the Duchess of Sussex's Archetypes podcast. Allegedly, Meghan wrote a personal letter to Taylor Swift asking her to appear on Archetypes, but the singer declined through a representative. Maybe Meghan didn't get the memo that Taylor Swift is Team Catherine and William. The journalist that is reporting on this story is Victoria Ward. I'm wondering if this is getting Meghan back for making her look like a fool for writing the article about this leaked letter to King Charles. It does appear to me that journalists who were traditionally Sussex pro have now been starting to turn on Meghan, possibly because they're seeing more and more people are not in favor of this couple. And by supporting the Sussex propaganda, it's no longer as lucrative and profitable as opposed to speaking the truth. We're starting to see more journalists now speak out about this couple because the fear of retaliation seems to be dwindling because Meghan has been exposed for the liar and fraud that she is. From my observation and paying attention to what people have been saying about Meghan and who she really is, if you're on Meghan's bad side, Meghan has a personal vendetta to get you. And I do think that this was the case with Jeremy Clarkson. Jeremy Clarkson created a bit of a stir at the end of 2022 when he wrote an article that many thought was misogynistic as well as offensive regarding Meghan Markle. So offensive that organizations who support Meghan Markle and had been tied to the racism claims at Buckingham Palace with Lady Susan Hussey led the campaign for Jeremy Clarkson to be investigated by Ipso. The same group of Sussex supporters, most likely supported and paid by Meghan Markle, also did try to ruin Jeremy Clarkson's livelihood, such as getting him canceled from his TV contract and also streaming deals. This is par for course with Meghan Markle because she has done this to a few people now. As we have seen, she tried to do this with Piers Morgan and had been doing this to her own family, especially with Samantha Markle. In the case of Jeremy Clarkson, I don't think that one article is what set Meghan off. I believe that the article that he wrote in September after the Queen's funeral is what got under Meghan Markle's skin. And I'd like to read it because I am just now discovering this article. It was not pervasive here in the United States, and maybe it wasn't so pervasive in the UK because there was other stuff going on that they were distracting people with. This piece was such a burn that I'm surprised that it didn't get picked up by more outlets, but we're going to go ahead and do everybody the favor and remind everybody what Jeremy Clarkson said. Jeremy Clarkson begins by saying, "Let's cast our minds back to the funeral of Princess Diana. We'd never seen anything so enormous or so unexpected or so moving. There were so many crushingly sad moments that I sat there for hours crying my eyes out. The hearse driving through a blizzard of flowers as it headed up the M1 to Althorpe, the Princes Harry and William following the coffin, which was adorned with a floral display and a card that said simply, 'Mummy.' And of course, Elton John singing 'Goodbye, England's Rose.' I was in bits. But I was also a little nervous because I kept thinking, how can a funeral ever be more gut-wrenchingly magnificent than this? And if it can't, what will happen when the Queen dies? Will we all just think that an old lady has passed away and not pay much attention? And if we did, would her send-off be smaller than Diana's as a result? Well, we all know the answer to that now. The Queen's funeral dwarfed anything anyone anywhere in the world had ever seen. It dwarfed our wildest expectations. This was a primary colored 5-mile long disturbance in the force. That scene when her coffin came down the Mall, with all those people watching and all those flags and all that solidarity in their Sunday best, was more exciting and more emotional than anything I could have even imagined. I was gasted with flabber. I wasn't sobbing, though, because I was too busy reeling with joy and gratefulness at the sheer size of it all and the majesty and the brilliance of absolutely everyone involved. I was also breathing a massive sigh of relief because if the crowds had been patchy, that would have sent out a worrying signal that us lot, the nation's ordinary people, wanted a Diana style of royalty more than we wanted the version built over 70 years by the Queen. In my opinion, I think this was well said and brilliantly captured and summarized. But now let's get to the fun part of this article. Here we go. Under the boldface heading, "Those two are unhinged." That we wanted pretty girls and low-cut frocks more than we wanted hard work and sensible shoes, which would have turbocharged the drive systems and ambition of Meghan Markle and her dumbstruck husband, Harry. I don't want to sound like Piers Morgan, who's obsessed with the Markles, because I never want to sound like Piers Morgan. But I'm afraid there's no way around it. He's right. And I'm going to sound like him when I say those two are unhinged. Here are some questions Meghan might like to answer. On the day the Queen died, why did William and his party wait in London for such a long time that they arrived in Scotland? We're told after the Queen had died. And why did Harry then arrive on his own and then leave on his own early the next day? Were you being a nuisance somehow? Or were you too upset to go? Sure, we were shown pictures of you crying at the funeral, but you're an actor, for crying out loud. Not a very good one, I admit, but an actor nevertheless. And actors can cry on demand. Even I can, and on a number of occasions have. I very much doubt those tears were real, because why would you cry at the funeral of someone who fronted an organization that you very obviously despise? It'd be like me crying when Piers is taken to that great larder in the sky. And Harry? Well, when it came to a choice between singing God Save the King, which would have pleased his family and about 4 billion people around the world, and not singing, which would please no one but his wife, he chose not to sing. That could be because he has giant balls, but it's more likely that Meghan's got them attached to a bomb in the chest of drawers in the hideous house in California. Maybe that's what all those suspicious bulges were under her tight-fitting dress, the detonator. For the past few months, the Markles have felt like their drive to become the new royal family was going pretty well. He was clowning around on a bus with that half-wit James Corden, and she was getting quite a bit of traction among a small gang of teenage feminists who think that the old royal family may be racist meat-eaters. This is what's been spurring her on, a sense that because the Queen never complained and never explained, Meghan could rampage around the place spewing poison, telling her truths, and in so doing, winning the hearts and minds of the stupid and the socially disabled. But then she got to the Queen's funeral, and in her scheming head, she must have thought, "Oh shit, this royalty business is bigger than I thought." You're damn right it is, love. The royal family in this country has lasted more than 1,000 years and is massively respected, as you've seen, by billions of people across the globe. This brilliant piece of writing puts Meghan Markle in her place, but he turns it up a notch in the last section. Leading off with the heading calling Meghan a two-bit actress, he says, "Whereas you, a divorced and mostly friendless two-bit actress who's thrown away your own family and asked your husband to do the same thing. And for what? A bit of money? I used to know Harry a bit. We played tennis together. And he once came and drove as the Stig on Top Gear. He was a good lad. But you, Meghan, have filled his head with woke American nonsense and ruined him. God knows what he gets in return. Actually, scrub that, because of course God does know. What we know down here on earth is that he wanted to wear a uniform at the funeral. He wanted to salute at the cenotaph. He wanted to be there for his family and his grandmother's funeral. And because of you, Meghan, he couldn't. As a result, we're not interested in you or your podcasts or your foundations, and we're certainly not interested in your husband's forthcoming tell-all book. If you can call something written in crayon a book, I'm longing with all my heart to not read it. I do not wish Meghan any harm. I hope that after she has been photographed sitting by herself on the back of a Playboy's super yacht and outside the Taj Mahal, she goes on to lead a long and happy life. But she should know this. When she dies, hopefully many years from now, she will not be carried in front of millions by stoic men with good hearts and strong arms. If it's a slow news day, the best she'll get is a small obituary in the Times on page 27, because her whole being is based on nothing at all, and we prefer people with a bit more stuff going on. That's why we like the Queen, and it's why we like Charles, and it's why many years from now, after he's been through a blizzard of roses, we will like William too, and then, way on down the road, George. So Meghan, my dear, to use the sort of language you Americans understand, you're going to lose this war with our royal family, and you're going to lose it big. It's no wonder why Meghan tried to get Jeremy Clarkson canceled. Folks, we are witnessing the comeuppance that we all have been asking for the last 6 years. Honestly, in today's world where lies are now truth and everything appears to be reversed, if this is what being trapped looks like as a member of the royal family, then you know what? Sign me up. I would like to be trapped too. This so-called freedom that Meghan and Harry had found doesn't look too fun. Meghan looks like she's approaching 50, and Harry is trying to hang on to the last pubic hair that he has left on his head, is not selling me that everything is okay in Sussex land. And they're getting exactly what they deserve, and it's about damn time. Recently, we've seen a lot of promotion around Meghan's representation by WME, but has anybody thought about who is representing Prince Harry? We know that WME is not representing Prince Harry, so who is doing his PR? I'm wondering if it's Miranda Barbeau, who was with Harry at the Warrior Games. Now, she works for a company called Berlin Rosen. Berlin Rosen is a special kind of PR agency that focuses on what I like to call the language of Meghanese. It's a very woke firm pushing the agenda, and Harry has been involved with their teams working on the bandwagons that Meghan told him to jump on, such as Black Lives Matter and this whole racism in society. So as you can see, it says here that Berlin Rosen team engaged powerful leaders in the racial justice movement, including working with Prince Harry and Color of Change to facilitate and promote a conversation on racism and online hate. It would make total sense if he was with this firm because they have a special division where they focus on crisis management, especially around legal affairs. And we know how litigious Prince Harry is, so this would be right up his alley, in my opinion. If any of you guys have an answer to this, definitely let me know down in the comments section. Harry is being represented by somebody. The question is, who exactly is representing him? Meghan has made it very clear, with WME's help, in positioning the narrative of distancing herself to all the drama that she had been a major source in creating. Meghan's brand strategy right now is an opportunity to distance herself from the negativity of the past. It's no accident that she didn't go to the coronation, that she didn't show up in London alongside Harry when he was in court recently. And one industry professional says Meghan is wise to distance herself from her husband's toxic dramas. This is a woman who constantly moves forward. This is about building a global brand. I'm sorry, but the ship has sailed for Meghan. No matter how hard these agencies try to rebrand her, she's still going to be the nasty, ugly person that she really has shown herself to be. And people don't forget that. Here is a woman who treated her own family like trash. So who is going to listen to her about kindness and compassion? And as an iconic role model and influencer, when she directly affected and accelerated the death of one of the greatest monarchs of our time. You can't forget those things. It's not like everyday tiffs that you have with your family. This was full out attacks on the family. So I don't think William Morris Endeavor could do anything that would make many of us who have seen Meghan for who she really is change our minds. So stop putting out these ridiculous puff pieces saying that King Charles wants to mend fences with Prince Harry and Meghan. I highly doubt he wants to mend any fences with Meghan or even wants her to step foot back on the United Kingdom soil. Does William Morris not understand the King's English when he said that he wished Meghan and Harry the best as they build their lives overseas? Interpreted as, see you later, bye-bye, sayonara, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you? The only positive change that I see in order to begin mending fences is for Harry to drop this loser that he's with and get back to his family and repair those relationships. It's going to take a long time to rebuild that trust, but can't be done with Meghan Markle coming back with him. It's not going to happen. They can spin these stories all day long, but it's not going to change the way that people think about Meghan Markle. It doesn't matter. Separating brand or not, she has revealed herself to be all about herself. I think a good indicator in telling if Meghan and Harry are separated is when we see the PR pieces start getting nasty about one another. So meaning there will be moments where we'll see puff pieces throwing Harry under the bus, but we're also going to see moments where Meghan is thrown under the bus. So I kind of wonder if this article that was written by Victoria Ward was exposed by Harry. Let's remember that the Telegraph was Harry's friend. So who knows? Did Prince Harry leak that information about Meghan writing a letter to Taylor Swift and got turned down? Somehow I think that could be possible. You got to think, why is this coming out now? This is quite embarrassing for Meghan. So the question is, are we going to see something about Harry now coming up in this week? I think we might. Definitely keep your eyes out, because what we're seeing are, in some cases, some of the traditional media outlets that at one time Meghan and Harry were using to tell their lies have now started to turn on Meghan and vice versa, turn on Prince Harry. So something is not aligned, and it does give me the indication that there is going to be some type of PR war that we are not going to be privy to, but it is happening between the two, especially if they are going in separate directions, as they are saying out in the public. But I do think behind the scenes, they have also gone in separate directions. What do you guys think? As always, I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave your comments below, and I will be back soon with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
I was such a fraud.